Would you love to learn how you can build a network marketing business from the perspective of a top earner? Well, my name is Karen Angeli, and I have brought on Ashley Nyholt with me. She is a top earner within the network marketing community, and I wanted her to just share a little bit about who she is and how she got started in this industry. But just do me a favor, if you're coming in live, let me know that you're coming in live and let me know where you're coming in from. And if you're coming in on the replay, do me a favor, drop me a hashtag replay. Let me know where you're coming in from as well. So let's really get into this because I'm so excited that you decided to join us tonight, Ashley. But I just wanted to kind of see what got you started in network marketing? What was that thing that just pulled you towards the network marketing industry?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for having me. And it really was the lifestyle. My parents own their own companies, and I was able to watch my entire life them have a different lifestyle than all of my friends as parents. But they still had that workplace where they had to be 9 to 5. And after 30 years, they were still putting in the same amount of work as they were day one. And so I knew that there was something else out there that was going to be that in between. And honestly, when the first person approached me about network marketing, I thought it was something that moms did while they were staying home with their kids, and that was it. So I thought nothing of it, but I loved the person that had asked me, so I agreed to join her for coffee. And within 5 minutes of her talking, it was like, wow, this is exactly what I'm looking for, because it all the perks of owning your own business without that from employees and the overhead and everything like that. So I just saw it as an amazing way to have the income I wanted, be my own boss, and be able to do all the things that you're able to do within the network marketing space. For the first company I was in, it was earning cars and earning trips and all that fun stuff. So
yes, definitely. So how old were you when you first started?
I was 18 when I first started network
That's
marketing.
what I love you saying that, because a lot of people have this assumption that young people, teenagers, don't really have that kind of focus. And I love that you started so early within the network marketing industry and actually just went for it. So you built a pretty big empire, right? What did that feel like when you were at the highest in building with network marketing? What did that feel like to you?
I just felt so grateful to be able to work with so many wonderful women. And so my company was predominantly, I can't speak, women. And so it was just amazing to watch them blossom. I also built a lot of very young leaders. And so I was able to watch them take complete control of their adulthood and really live the life on their own terms that most people never get to experience. And here we were in our 20s able to create that for ourselves. And so it was one of the biggest blessings in the world, was just to help empower people and watch them take control of their life. So that was
definitely
amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think that that is probably your favorite thing about network marketing?
Yeah, definitely. Just watching people be as empowered as possible, living their most elevated life as possible, and striving for greatness. That is one of the best things that you can experience no matter what you do. And so being able to have hundreds of team members on your team that you're helping, you're working with, and they're all in different places, it's exhilarating and so rewarding.
Oh, definitely. Totally agree. What do you think have been some of the biggest struggles in building network marketing?
I think for me, the biggest struggle was moving from offline to online. So I've been in the network marketing space now for 11 years. And when social media and smartphones became so big, it really eliminated offline strategies and made it so that online was the way to go about it, but no one knew how to do it online. So I made a lot of mistakes, and struggled to figure that out of how to take my offline strategies online. And I believe that everyone was my prospect, which was my worst, the worst thing about my network marketing experience in the first couple of years. because that just wasn't true, and it really set me up for burning a lot of bridges. And so those were probably the two biggest things. I love that I can go to social events and family functions now, and I don't have any capacity of prospecting whatsoever. Even if it comes up, I'm not going there, and it's so.
Right.
So those were my biggest challenges, was getting out of that everyone is your prospect mentality and taking things offline to online.
Yeah. So when you did start taking your business online, what was that catalyst that made you be like, it's time to actually start building online? And what was it that made you like, what did you find basically that helped you start building your business online?
So the catalyst was I wasn't building leaders at the same rate. So after 5 to 8 years in the industry, my leaders were not succeeding at the rates they used to, and I wasn't having new leaders come up. And so it just logically made no sense. If I could build leaders as an 18, 19-year-old, how come I couldn't do it with more skill sets and years on my experience? And so I was like, there's got to be something going on. And society had just made such a huge shift with like having cell phones and having social media and being connected in that way. It was massive. And so when I kind of put those things together and just realized my team wasn't succeeding at the same levels as they used to, I needed to fix it for them. I didn't view myself as a leader with integrity. If I was going to keep on recruiting people, feeding them that this is going to work and have them leave their families and put in hours in the evenings on top of their 9 to 5 and have it worth it. So that was really the thing that made me need to figure it out. And I just got resourceful. I got around people like yourself and listened to what they were doing and figured out what was working for them and what I could do that they were doing and duplicate. And I just tested it. And that was really the big difference for me, was finding people who had done it and done it well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I totally agree with that. Because sometimes that's the thing that gets us stuck sometimes too, is we don't get around the right people. And we hear a lot that all we need is what our upline has to say. What do you think about that? Like when somebody is like saying that all you need is what your upline is sharing with you. What do you think about that?
I think that is really cutting yourself short. There's so many amazing, like intelligent, wise, and innovative people out there. And so to only be listening to one of them and following one of them is really just cutting yourself short. Like there's so many opportunities, there's so much potential. And it doesn't mean that you don't have a good upline or what she's saying isn't great. But to really mastermind and get like brainstorm and get collective ideas from the masses is really where massive success happens. So that's where it's powerful, when you can really test and experience more instead of one idea, one way of thinking.
Yes, which is a lot of times what our uplines give to us. I know you and I have really similar stories where we had gotten to this place and then it was like we kind of got stuck. So when you did start noticing, because you said that you had noticed that you weren't building those leaders anymore, when you started noticing that happen, what was the first few thoughts that went through your head?
I had to figure it out. Like I got back into the trenches and I started trying everything that I possibly could, because I was not someone that was going to recruit people and have it not work for them or be worth it for them. Like I took that responsibility of me bringing them in and them trusting me very seriously. And so I needed to figure it out. And I did a lot of things before I found online strategies, and they didn't work. So thankfully I was able to find the right people and find the right strategies at the last straw, really.
What were some of the things that you did before you finally realized what you needed to do to build your business online?
I've done a lot of it. Like in the beginning, it was a lot of referrals. I've done home parties. I've done events. Walking up to strangers was a daily occurrence in my life. Messages on Facebook, adding random people on Facebook. Literally, if you were a friend of mine on Facebook, you probably got a message from me at least 2 to 3 times minimum. And I bought leads that were expensive and not qualified, and yeah, like I've done it all.
You do what you got to do, right? Sometimes you're like, well, you got to keep trying things and see what works best. Because like you said too, we're really focusing on, as a top income earner, we're focusing on what is it that I can do to help my team actually do what they need to do to become the leader that I know that they're meant to be.
Yeah.
So definitely. So what do you see changing in the network marketing world as time continues to move on? What do you see the biggest changes coming our way?
I think it really comes down to value and trust. So those are my two big things. Because we live in a very fast-paced world. People are used to being screwed over and thinking about scams and all that kind of stuff. And so it really is about how can we add value and how can we create trust with that person. And I really think as long as you have those two things, you're going to be fine because you're going to attract the right people to you. But it has to be consumer driven. It has to be what's in it for them and what's going to be most effective for them to succeed. A lot of people are thinking about massive growth. And while massive growth is great, if you don't have something set up for them to also win, it's not effective. So really always over delivering and keeping that value and that trust at the highest level.
So just explain for us right now what it means to actually provide value to people. What does that actually mean?
Well, a lot of people, what they do is they will jump on Facebook and talk about some random subject, or talk about their product with hopes of selling it or something like that. And so every piece of value that they put out there or every question that they ask on Facebook is with an ulterior motive. And that's the same as when I was doing old school network marketing. You would talk to the stranger in the mall or at a social event. You would let the conversation get to, what do you do for a living, or whatever it was. You were and so it's the same with online marketing now. A lot of people are saying I'm doing attraction marketing when really they're just asking certain questions, positioning those questions in a way to hopefully get people to buy in and like bite the bait or whatever you want to call it, or the value they're adding is specific to what their desired result is. And so really it's about looking at what your consumer's desired result is instead of your end desired result. So how can I add value? So if this person never does anything with me, they still walk away having had a good experience, having had fun, or having learned something, so that they're the ones that are benefiting from the end experience instead of myself. And I think that's really where the big difference comes in. So like if you're in the skincare industry, it's educating people on skincare, maybe having fun with it in some weird face mask way, or like in the service industry, educating them with free resources before having a call to action to have them like request more information and join you, like those kind of things.
Yeah. So really pouring into other people, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So if somebody came to you and they were brand new to the industry, they're super green, what do you think is the first thing that they should do to get started within network marketing?
I would find a mentor that they can trust and that has built the business that they want to build the way they want to build it. And I would lock arms and run with whatever that person says. And really it's about figuring out who you want to attract to you and figuring out how they can win. Like I just mentioned, like how can you add value to them so that either way they have a win-win situation by having known you and having watched your videos or having read your content, whatever it might be.
Yeah, definitely. Totally agree. So I know you've done a lot of personal development through the years. What have been some of your favorite things that you've either learned or read, or what are some of the favorite things that you've done within your personal development journey?
Yeah, so reading books is huge. Finding mentors online is huge. But the two biggest skill sets that I've learned is tracking and evaluating. So if you don't track your numbers, you have no way of knowing what's working, if it's working, if you're even doing the work, or what you would have to do differently. So tracking is essential, and I track everything, so I know where the down is. And then tracking is also really powerful. So if you know what your average numbers are and you want to hit a massive goal, you look at your numbers and you know, do I have to double this or do I have to triple this, or what is it and what is that going to look like? And then there's no wondering if you're going to hit a goal, you know, because you know your averages on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis. So that's super powerful. And then evaluating that whole process. And a lot of us are so judgmental of ourselves, and we bring that into our own home-based businesses, and it's not effective at all. And so being able to evaluate like what's working, what's not working, and what might I do differently is huge, versus like beating yourself up about you made a mistake saying something or whatever it was. You accidentally let a recruit go if you because you mismanaged it or whatever it was. So yeah, and then evaluating how to be more effective, evaluating your lives, evaluating your content, everything.
Yeah, definitely. So if you could go back and you could start your network marketing journey over, what is one thing you would do differently?
I would never talk to friends and family.
I love it. What makes you say that?
I have never known someone that has recruited a friend or a family member and had that work out really well for them.
Yeah.
It ends up being someone, one of them that got recruited isn't interested anymore, or something really bad happens in the relationship because of the business or whatever it is. I've never seen people get to the top of the company and have their friends and family with them in tow. It just doesn't happen. So if you have had that happen, you can definitely message me and prove me wrong. But 7 years, I haven't seen it, and I burned so many bridges and annoyed so many friends and family members, and they still, to this day, 11 years later of me being successful, don't see what I do as something serious or something real. And if I would have positioned myself differently and never talked to them about it, never tried to recruit them, that might be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, we really appreciate having you. I feel like you gave a lot of insights as to what it means to actually build a successful network marketing business, because I know a lot of people come into this industry with the hopes of doing it. And sometimes there's a struggle that comes along with it. So thank you so much for sharing your insights. If you got any value from this, please do me a favor, drop me a hashtag value, because I want to know if what we're sharing with you, if what Ashley shared with you was helpful in any way, shape, or form. Ashley and I are super good buds, and I love it because we do have such a similar story. Like, we really do. And when we first met, I remember thinking, this girl gets me. So thank you so much for joining us, Ashley. It's been such a good time. So appreciate you, and I will see everyone later. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.